Hi, welcome to Sachin Study Tech. Today topic is variable types in Java. So local variable and instance variable and static variable. So local variable, instance variable, static variable. Now declaration. So where you can declare the local variable? The local variable is declared within the method or within the block or within the constructor. So that type of variable is called as a local variable. So the variable is declared inside the class outside of all the methods. So that variable is called as a instance variable. Static variable or class variable is the variable is declared within the class outside of all the methods and a constructor, and also you can declare use of the static keyword, that is static variable. Now what is the scope of the local variable? Inside the method or block only, where you can declare that variable, the scope of that variable within that block only. But instance variable, entire class per object. So entire class saved by all the objects. So lifetime, what is the lifetime of the local variable is created and destroyed within the method or block. So exist with object, and static variable exists from the class load to program hand. That static variable is available. Default values not assigned automatically. That means if you cannot assign any value to the local variable, it raises a compile time error. So it is auto initialized, but that means you cannot assign any value to the instance variable as well as the static variable. So the default value is considered. So access modifiers are not allowed in local variables. Access specifiers are private, public, protected, public and protected. So these are the access modifiers. So here access modifiers are allowed in instance variable and also static variable. Access from the static method. In the static method, local variables are not allowed, and also instance variables are directly not allowed, but use of object reference it can allowed, and also static variable allowed by the class name. So saved across the object. So in local variable you cannot access through the object. So in local variable shared across the object means each and every object having unique space, separate space is there, so that it is not accessed. Share across the object is not possible. Instance variable also. Static variable it is there. So memory location is stack. Here the instance variable memory location, where you can store that instance variable in heap area, and method area here static variable, method area or JVM. Now you can see one example program, then you can understand what is the static variable, local variable and instance variable. Now test.java. So here I am declaring one variable. Here it is int roll number. So this is called as the instance variable. This variable is declared outside of all the methods, and for example here it is I am declare one variable is string name. This variable is called as a static or class variable. So I am taking one method. Here it is public void display method name is display. Here I am declare one variable. Here it is int marks. For example here it is 50. So initially I am not assigning any value. Now we can check int marks. So just you can print all the values here within the method system dot out dot print ln. You can print local variable, static variable and So here it is name. Just I can print the name. Here it is name. Roll number, roll number plus variable name, and here also you can print the marks. Now what you can see marks plus marks. This is a simple class. This class consisting of 3 variables. So here it is a local variable. The variable is declared inside the method. This is the method, display method. So this variable is declared within the method. So the variable scope is within this block only. You can see here this block only. Outside that block, so marks, this variable is not available. Now we can see this is a simple class. I am creating one class, main class, variable demo, main method public, static, void main, string arguments. This is the main method signature, string args. Now just you can create one object for that class. So what is the class name? Static test is a class name. So I am creating one object, object 1. So here new keyword, new, and class name is test. I am creating one object. Through that object you can access. So initially I am not assigning any value, roll number and name and marks also. Just object 1 dot, just you can call that method obj1 dot, method name is display. Now we can access that method. The method is accessed through that object. So I am creating object for test class. So how can create object? Class name. So what are the class is there? Here test class is there. So I am creating object for test class. So class name is test, and this is the object name. So object name you can take any name for the object. Here assignment equal to operator here, new, and test class name. So object 1 dot display. So just you can save this program. Here you can run this. First you can compile Java. What is the file name? Test.java. Okay, you can see here variable marks might not have been initialized. So that is the error. Why? So remaining here it is a instance variable is there, roll number is the instance variable, and name is there. This is the string type. Okay, so there is no error, but here it is a local variable marks. So that's why here the variable marks might not have been initialized. So that is the error. That means that variable is not available outside this block. Outside this block not available. But here this instance variable and static variable is available outside that block also. So that is the difference. Now I am giving the value here, the marks equal to for example here it is 85. Now just save this program. Now we can compile. You can compile this program here. Okay, there is no error. So what is the Java space, what is the main v demo, main class name here. So you can see what is the default value of name. So name is a, here I am declaring name is a static variable. So static variable, the default values is allowed here. The default value of the string type is null, and here also instance variable roll number. So I am not assigning any value to the roll number. So the roll number is 0. That is default values allowed, instance variable and static variable, but not instance variables default values are not allowed for the local variable. That's why you can assign the value to the local variable. So that is the one example. And you can see for example here I am taking two objects, object 1 and object 2. I am creating two objects. Here you can calling object 1 dot display and object 2 dot display, right? Object 2 dot display, okay. But here you can access, here it is object 1 dot roll number is for example 501, and object 2 dot roll number is 502. And so object 1 dot name is for example Sirisa, okay, name. And object 2 dot name that is equal to Satyam. Just you can observe carefully here. So previously a default values is consider, you are not assigning any value to the instance variable and local variable, instance variable and static variable. Local variable you can assign here. So you can see here it is object 1 dot roll number 501, object 2 dot roll number is 502. Here also name is also given here. So what is the output? Object 1 dot display and object 2 dot display. Just you are observe that. Just save that program. Just clear this. Now again you can compile this program. There is no error. Then you can run this program. Java vdemo. You can see name, both the cases are same. Here you can see, here also name is Satyam, here also name is Satyam, but here object 1 dot name is Sirisa, object 2 dot name is Satyam. But whenever you can change the name here, just allocate memory only once for the static variable, but each and every object having own separate space. So object 1 having one space, object 2 also allocate memory for this object also. So that's why here object 1 roll number is 501, okay, object 1 roll number is 501, object 2 roll number is 502, okay, it is fine. But here you can see name is Satyam, here also name is Satyam. Why? So, and also here instead of object, just for example here it is, I put the comment here, just instead of object also. So here you can assign the value to the static variable through the class name also. Test dot name equal to Satyam. Here also accepted because it is a static variable. Just can save this program. Just can compile. You can run this program here. Here also you can see the same output. What are the output is there here? Here also same output. So, but here the what the thing is observed here, it is for example I am trying to access test dot roll number. For example, here object 1 I am using the class name here test dot roll number. Is it possible to access through the class? So here you can see non-static variable roll number cannot be referred from static context. So test dot roll number is not allowed. So that means here the roll number is a instance variable. Roll number is an instance variable. The instance variable accessed only object through the object only. Okay, through the class name you cannot access instance variable. But here static variable you can access through the object and through the class only. But recommended static variable can access through the class name, not the object. Okay, that is the concept. So what is happening here? Now we can see. So in this clarity here, you can see shared across the object local variable is not possible. Here also we are discussed here. Access modifiers are not allowed and not assigned automatically. Okay, if we are not assigning any value to the local variable, it raises an error, compile time error. Auto initialized, here also auto initialized, you can see already. In this case here, shared across the object, no, through the object you cannot access. Already I discussed. Instance variable, here also not possible. Here it is static variable, it can access. Okay, now you can see the difference is, for example, I am creating object 1, so allocate space for this object 1, and also I am creating one more object, right here it is. What are the instance variable is there? Roll number is the instance variable as. So object 1 dot roll number, that means here it is the roll number is 501. Here also whenever you can create object 2, so allocate memory for this object. Here also roll number is 502. Okay, but static variable, only one memory space for the static variable. That is a static variable. Here I am declare the static variable, name is the static variable I am given. Here it is, for example, Satyam. So through that object, for example, you can change the object 1 value. Okay, you can change here. So but it cannot affected in this case. For example, here it can see object roll number is, for example, 101. So that means here it can change the value here only, but it cannot change in this case. Now for example, you can print system dot out dot println object 1 dot roll number. What is the output here? So object 1 dot roll number is 101, so it can print 101. But in case of here, you can see system dot out dot println object 2 dot roll number, it is 502 only, because each and every object having separate space. You can allocate separate space for each and every object. So but here the class variable or static variable, so only one space is allocated. So for example, through that object 1, here you can change object 1, for example, name equal to, for example, Mohan is the name. Now you can see, so system dot out dot println, here whenever you can change the object 1 dot name equal to Mohan, so here it can change that name is Mohan. So if you can access object 1 dot name, okay, the name is Mohan, and system dot out dot println object 2 dot name also Mohan, it cannot affect. If you can change, for example, here it can change that value, but an object, if you can change one object value, it cannot affect on another objects. Okay, but here if you can change object dot name, he is Mohan. Okay, so object 1 dot name is Mohan, object 2 dot name is also Mohan. So same, for example, object, you can refer this here also, object 2 also you can refer the same memory locations. So that's why the name is Mohan. And also here also system dot out dot println, okay, you can use the class name. For example, class name is test dot name, also same thing, you can get the same output, right, Mohan. So that means any static variable or class variable is associated with the class. So static variable is associated with class, and instance variable is associated with object, not a class. So that is the difference. Here you can see. Okay, thank you for watching this video. You can discuss in detail in later sessions also.